Personal finance is a complicated topic, and it's easy to become overwhelmed by the amount of information available. You may spend hours reading about money management and come out with little to show for it. Money, on the other hand, doesn't have to be so difficult. There are a few essential principles that can make or break your financial future, and you should know them by heart if you want to establish a healthy financial future. When it comes to money, a lot of what successful individuals do is simply follow common sense concepts, many of which I'm about to discuss with you. So below are 19 surefire money strategies that will make a difference in your life. 19. You cannot afford something if you cannot pay for it in cash. Avoiding credit card debt by repeating this phrase is the easiest method to prevent drowning in debt. Waiting to make significant purchases till you have the funds pays off more than spending money you don't have. 18. Protect yourself. Stuff happens. If you don't have the necessary safeguards in place, your financial foundation might suddenly disintegrate. From material possessions like your home to your most valuable asset and yourself, you should strive to safeguard every part of your life's work. 17. Happiness cannot be bought with money. This one is perhaps the only one of the bunch that isn't as money-oriented, but one of the most important. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of cash. Your emotional reaction is influenced by how you spend your money. There's a lot of evidence that spending money on experiences rather than possessions makes you happier. 16. The race will be won if you go slowly and steadily. Nobody achieves financial success in a single day. It'll take a long time to form excellent habits and maintain discipline. You'll never be able to realize your full financial potential if you keep looking for the instant button or speculating and playing with your money. 15. Learn to be at ease in your skin. Investing is one of the most out-of-the-ordinary things you'll ever do. However, you must accept this. You must accept that markets will rise and fall. The greatest approach to invest successfully is to stay disciplined and follow your investment policy statement. 14. Your most precious asset is your time. Don't fool yourself into believing you have time to catch up. Time is required not only for your money to grow, but also for it to recover from drawdowns. The longer you invest your money, the better your chances of achieving financial success. It's critical to invest early and invest wisely. 13. See no evil, do no evil. This basically describes what happens when something is out of sight. If you are anything like most people, finding a place for money in your checking account is a breeze. Setting up automatic payments from each paycheck to go straight to your savings or investments is one of the finest methods to prevent wasteful spending and enhance savings. 12. Money is important. A lot of money is important. Taxes, spending ratios, and advisor fees all add up to a significant amount of money. They have a direct bearing on your financial situation. They can consume a significant chunk of your wealth in the long run. Make sure you understand how much your investments cost you. Practice tax management and engage with a financial advisor who's upfront about the costs you pay directly to them. This directly links to the next point, that money is your baby. It's incapable of self-management. Consider how your children would have turned out if you had let them make their own decisions without your supervision or punishment. The same applies to money. It must be controlled with structure and discipline, and it must be maintained on a regular basis. 10. Your most important values should be in sync with your financial decisions. You're unlikely to achieve the goals you set for yourself if your financial decisions don't support your most essential ideals. Values should govern your financial decisions and priorities in the same way that they do in your everyday life. 9. You should not have any debt, or at the very least debt-free. Credit card debt and other high-interest loans should be a thing of the past. Make on-time payments on your credit cards. The sure, foolproof strategy, especially to avoid credit card debt, is to never charge more than you can afford to pay off each month. Carrying a lot of high-interest debt hurts your ability to save and invest for the future. Everything else in your financial life will have to work even harder to make up the difference. 8. Lead the life you desire. Wealthy people understand the why behind their wealth. You should understand yours as well. Why do you work, invest, or do anything at all? Your responses will be unique to you, but it all boils down to being able to live the life you desire. That's the true goal, to make your money work for you so you can achieve your greatest financial potential. However, you must begin with the question, why? You have nothing to fight for if you don't have something to fight for. You can't live deliberately with your money because there's nothing to guide you. Before we continue, I'd like to know, are you getting any value so far? If you are, kindly like this video, and if you're new, welcome, and go ahead and click subscribe. Done? Great. Let's move on. 7. Track your net worth. We'll get to tracking your spending and savings later in this video, but tracking your net worth has its own set of advantages. You can get a better picture of your success over time by tracking your net worth. All the budgeting and hacks are great, but it's very difficult to stay motivated if you can't see your progress at the end of the day. Running your stats once a month provides you with a great idea of where you are and how far you've come over time. It's similar to a diary, except it's for your money. We also believe that net worth is an excellent sign of financial health and advancement. Get together with a financial planner immediately and start evaluating your net worth and get suggestions on strategies to increase it over time. 6. Pay yourself first and don't compare yourself to others. When it comes to money, keep in mind that it's just that. It's your hard-earned cash after all. Even though it may be tough at times, having the systems in place to ensure that you stay a priority is crucial. Paying yourself first is such a basic concept, but many people tend to overlook it or never consider it. By paying yourself first, you ensure money flows into your investments or savings before anything else. In theory, paying yourself is simple, but it might be tough to implement if your priorities aren't in order. Which brings us to the next strategy. It's crucial not to compare ourselves to others when it comes to money. This means you shouldn't be concerned with what other people own or are purchasing. Trying to keep up with others or feeling obligated to live their lifestyle keeps you broke. It's a nightmare for your finances to go into debt or have no money, merely to feel like you belong. Overspending to keep up with the who's who can make saving difficult, if not impossible. Ignore the hype for a moment. It can be costly to live up to society's standards of wealth. The only thing that matters to wealthy people is their concept of financial success. Instead of living a deceptively low lifestyle only to keep up appearances in the eyes of their peers, they would gladly flout society standards. 5. Spend less money than you make. By far the most significant principle is this one. Definitely the most fundamental common sense financial idea you can implement. You can only succeed if your monthly revenue exceeds your monthly costs. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck or plunging deeper into debt because you can't pay your bills, you may put money away for the future by spending less than you make. Saving at least 20% of your salary in a high-quality bank account is a frequent piece of advice. For most people, that's a reasonable aim, but you should save even more if you can. You'll never realize your full financial potential if you're always overspending and living beyond your means. 4. Maximize your income. Increasing your income, rather than pinching pennies, is the best method to save more money, even though it isn't discussed enough in the realm of personal finance. You can only save so much money by cutting back on your expenses. Sure, you can make a few slashes here and there, but it won't last. You'll eventually run out of options for cuts. You're much better off looking for ways to make more money than trying to budget your way to wealth. You can increase your income by asking for a raise, finding better paying work, freelancing, or launching a side business. 3. Plan for emergencies. Emergencies are unavoidable. They can be expensive if you aren't prepared for them. You can plan for unexpected costs in 2 ways. Investing in a savings account for a rainy day, and 2, ensure that you have all of the insurance coverages you require. The money in your emergency fund will be used to cover any unforeseen expenses. In a perfect world, your emergency fund would be 3 to 6 months worth of living expenditures. Saving that much money takes time, but any money saved is better than none at all. Open a high-interest savings account and deposit as much as you can every month to begin building your emergency fund. People frequently forego insurance, only to regret it later when they are confronted with a large bill. At the very least, you should have 1. Healthcare coverage, 2. insurance for renters or homeowners. And 3. Insurance for automobiles. 2. Improve your credit score. Whether you like it or not, your credit score can have a big impact on your daily life. Your credit score will be important if you ever want to receive one of the best credit cards or borrow money at a cheap interest rate. But that's not all it does. Your credit score can affect your vehicle insurance premiums, whether you have to pay a deposit to set up utilities, and even whether you're hired for certain professions. Despite the complexity surrounding credit ratings, the good news is that it's not difficult to improve yours. You'll need a credit card that you use and pay off each month to establish a track record of responsible borrowing. Secured credit cards are a wonderful place to start if you've had problems getting a credit card before. Simply make sure you pay your bills on time and don't overextend your credit limit. That's the foundation of a good credit score. 1. Save for retirement. Retirement, aka the thing that most people put off much longer than they should. You'll be better off if you start saving for retirement as soon as possible. You must begin saving for retirement as soon as possible, and that you take advantage of the tax advantages that 401ks and individual retirement accounts provide, aka your IRAs. You'll allow your money plenty of time to compound, which is the most effective approach to accumulate wealth. What matters most is that you set aside money for retirement every month. You'll be glad you started saving, whether it's $50, $100, or $1,000. Your investments will multiply many times over throughout your career if you invest sensibly. It's not necessary to overburden yourself with financial advice. Whatever you do or where you are in life, the personal financial ideas stated above can benefit you. If you follow them to the letter, you'll not only be financially secure, but you'll also be able to build your wealth for the future. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested, in the description is a link to Money EQ, which is a great finance course, so do have a look. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.